One night, 10-year-old Liam was sleeping peacefully in his bed. However, outside, the sound of the wind howled against the window, and a strange rustling echoed within the room. Liam woke up and tried to turn on the lamp in the corner of his room, but the lamp didn't light up. His heart started beating faster. The power must be out, he thought. Just then, he heard a strange hissing sound coming from one corner of the room. The shadows in the darkness began to look even more terrifying. Liam sat at the edge of his bed, trying to figure out where the sound was coming from. Maybe it's just the wind, he reassured himself, but the fear in his chest grew stronger. Suddenly, the door to his room creaked open on its own. Liam stared at the door, holding his breath, waiting for something to happen. The door opened all the way, and a faint light poured in from the hallway. But this light didn't look like the usual warm glow of his home. It was cold and pale, like something out of a nightmare. Liam stepped toward the door cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. When he walked through the doorway, he found himself in a completely different place. This wasn't his home. It was an old, abandoned hospital corridor. The walls were cracked, and dark stains covered the floor. Fear gripped him as he looked around. Liam turned to run back to his room, but the door had vanished. All that was left was the long, eerie hallway of the hospital stretching endlessly ahead of him. A faint, clattering noise echoed from deep within the corridor. Liam's legs froze, but curiosity took hold. He decided to move forward, each step echoing eerily in the empty hallway. His breath fogged in the cold air as he walked. Suddenly, he saw a door slightly ajar. From inside, he heard a soft groaning. His heart raced, but he slowly pushed the door open. The room was dimly lit, and there, lying on the floor, was a man dressed in torn, blood-stained hospital clothes. The man's face was hidden in the shadows. Liam's breath caught in his throat. He took a few cautious steps toward the man, trying to see if he was okay. But as he leaned closer, the man's head snapped toward him, revealing wide, pale, expressionless eyes that sent a chill down Liam's spine. In sheer terror, Liam stumbled backward, letting out a small scream. The man slowly began to rise, his limbs stiff. As he staggered toward Liam, panic set in. Without thinking, Liam turned and bolted down the corridor, his footsteps pounding in his ears. Liam ran as fast as he could, but no matter how far he went, the hallway seemed never-ending. Each corner he turned led to more darkness, more fear. The cold air burned his lungs, but he kept running, desperate to find an escape. His heartbeat drowned out all other sounds, but behind him, he could swear he still heard the slow, shuffling footsteps of the man from the room. Desperate, Liam spotted a large door at the end of the hallway. Rusted letters above it spelled out one word, exit. With all his remaining strength, Liam pushed open the heavy door, expecting to burst into the outside world. Instead, he found himself back in his own bedroom. Everything looked exactly the same as before, but his heart was still racing. He breathed heavily, trying to calm himself down. It was just a dream, just a nightmare, he whispered to himself as he climbed back into bed. But something didn't feel right. His eyes wandered to the corner of the room where the old lamp was now flickering. Liam's eyes widened as he noticed the lamp in the corner was working again, but something was off. In the dim light, he could see the reflection of the man from the hospital and the shadows cast by the lamp. The figure's pale, empty eyes stared back at him, unmoving. Liam's breath caught in his throat as the horror of what he was seeing dawned on him. He wasn't alone in the room anymore. The nightmare wasn't over.